Modeling of e-commerce in Excel. Before we go into details, let me start with a short intro. We're gonna present you here the logic we're gonna use in the Excel to reflect the business model. So in the case of e-commerce, we'll have some visits that through conversion rate will translate into number of transactions with thanks to assumptions on the average value of transaction, we'll get to the revenues of the e-commerce player. Then, on the basis of that, using the gross margin expressed as a percentage of the revenues, we'll get the gross margin. Before going any further, we'll have to estimate the costs related to the business. So we're going to estimate three types of costs. One is the cost of getting traffic to our site, then the cost of logistics, so delivering the goods to the customers, and also transaction fees related to the transaction we have made, so mainly to the payment platform we're using. On the basis of this, we're gonna get something which we will call net margin, and to get to the operating profit, the last level we will be reaching in this modeling, we need fixed costs. Every model is built roughly in the same manner. We're using the same philosophy. So we will have a summary sheet where we have the links to the underlying sheets. If you go to any of them, you can always go back through this link to the summary. This is especially important if you build a very complicated model in Excel with a lot of sheets. This allows the other guys to get around easily. So we start with the sales and margin development. Here we're gonna go exactly as we did in the PowerPoint intro. So we start with the number of visit, which is in period 1. We actually give it by months. It's 200,000 visitors. Just to remind you, blue means that we haven't tested the assumption. So this is something we have to test in the MVP stage, or we have to test it in the very first month. Then we have to put some conversion rate, again assumption. We assume that this will be 2%. And out of this, by multiplying one by another one, we get 4,000 transaction. Then we put the average assumed transaction value, which is 150. And we get to the 600K per month. Now, having those sales revenues, now let's go to gross margin. So gross margin is calculated on the basis of the sales and revenues we've calculated above here. And the assumed gross margin, again, it is in blue, so it is something you have to test. Out of this, we get 180,000 per month of gross margin. In order to get to the net margin, as we mentioned before, we have to somehow estimate the cost of traffic, cost of logistics and transaction. And out of this, after we calculated them, we will get the net margin. So let me just go through how we go around and estimate the cost of traffic. So basically what we have to do is first of all estimate the structure in which we get the traffic to our site. So here we have the sources, and this is they share in generating the total traffic. It should add up to 100. There you go. So this says that 20% of our visitors to our site will be a direct. So they basically know the site, and they just directly enter. Obviously, in the first stage, it might be that it's close to 0 because they don't know your site, and this grows over time to those 20%. We can actually model it here over time. Then organic search, so they basically put it into the Google or Bing, and they get your site as a result of the research. Newsletters and emailing, so basically you gather the emails and they're emailing them. Google AdWords, so obviously by showing ads at the search, you get the traffic. Affiliation, if you have them. Display ads, so it could be on other places other than search. And Facebook ads. Always we will have others, so you're gonna have this here if you have any other ideas. So it could be also offline ideas. Now, this is the share, and then we have to, for each and every source, try to estimate how much it costs us to get one visit from there. So obviously direct is 0 or close to 0, organic the same. We have to pay for newsletters maybe, for sure for Google AdWords, affiliation, display ads, etc. So now let's see how the formula works. So basically what it does, it multiplies the structure at which you get the traffic by the cost. So in this way, in this very first part, so some product, we get the average weighted cost of getting one visitors, and then it basically multiplies by the number of visits we want to get. So in order to get 200,000 visits, we have to spend 66,000 per month. Now let's see how we take care of the logistics. Logistics, basically, we take the transaction we have calculated here, we put them here, and we put also the cost of delivery per transaction we have negotiated with our supplier. Now let's go to the transaction fees. So transaction fees are calculated very easy. So we get basically the revenues sales we're going to generate, and then we put the transaction fee as a percentage of those revenues. This is the usual practice in most cases, or in some services you can have a mixture. So usually it will be a fixed amount, which is small, and then the percentage, and then it can be also capped by some sort of a formula. So really here it should be reflected depending on what kind of formula you're using. Now, as we mentioned before, we get the gross margin from here, the cost of traffic from here, the cost of logistics from this formula, and transaction from here, and we get the net margin, which is in this case 76. As we have shown in the PowerPoint intro, we need also the fixed costs. So basically everything which is not connected with generating the cost. So here you would have the head offices or headquarters. You would also have any development you're using, and this is actually quite important whenever you are trying to get the break-even point. In our case, we're going to be using very simple formulas. So we have as a cost position salaries, materials and utilities, maintenance, rent, depreciation, and external services. Out of this, salaries are somehow complicated in a little bit difficult manner, and then also the rent. For salaries, we are using the so-called FTEs. So FTE is a full-time equivalent, and it is much better to use than number of people, because number of people is not really a good estimation of your cost. Usually how you would estimate the cost is to translate a number of people into full-time equivalents. How you do it? It's very simple. You just look at the number of hours they are working for you per month and divide it by 170. So if somebody is working 80 hours, it is roughly half FTE. The total cost we get of salaries we get by multiplication of the FTEs, the average sales, and then we have something which is very important in many countries, which is the social security. In the case of Poland, it constitutes up to 23%, and this is substantial, so model for this as well. Then rents is estimated in an easy manner. We get the square meters, and we have the fee per square meters. We multiply them and we get the cost. So all in all, we get 82,000 per month of fixed costs. So how does it translate to the P&L? Well, as you can see, the net margin from the previous exercise, from the sales and margin sheet, is 76. But the fixed cost is actually 86,000, and we end up with a negative operating profit, which basically means that we are burning a lot of money, and actually, as you can see, there is no way out. In the next 12 months, there is apparently no movement upwards. So this would probably mean that you should go back to the sales and margin, think what you can change in terms of the conversion or in terms of the average value transaction. The other thing you could have a look at is the structure of how you get the traffic and the cost per visit. Maybe by optimizing some of them or changing the structure, you can get the cost of one visit lower, which will help you boost the results up and will help you to stop burning money. The other thing you could have a look at is the fixed costs. So just make sure that you need all the people and make sure that the office you've got is basically not too big for your budget. That's all when it comes to e-commerce. As you can see, this is just one of the many models you can create in terms of e-commerce. If you have any questions, please put them into discussion. If you would like to know how to modify it to adjust for your way of getting the revenues, please also put this in the discussion. We'll answer you and we'll provide you with a modified version, provided we can obviously do it. Okay, have a good luck.